Good morning, students. It's me, Miss Sania, and today we are back with another presentation. As you all know that in the previous sessions, we have already discussed about the demographic transition model along with the definition of population and everything related to it. So, in today's lesson, we are going to study about population of Pakistan and the characteristics of population. Before moving forward, hurry up, grab your notebook along with pencil and pen and start noting the important pointers. Because whatever pointers you will be making out, it will help you in revision and in your papers as well. And yes, you're already familiar with the other guidelines. So let's move forward. According to SLO number 7.1.2, it says that interpret graphs and statistics illustrating birth rate, death rate, and the rates of natural increase in population in Pakistan as a whole, as well as areas within Pakistan. When I talk about the term interpret, let me explain you that what exactly the question has been asked. They're asking interpret, which means to discuss, which means to explain, which means to elaborate, which means to identify, which means to that in this way you are discussing and you are telling that what exactly your conclusion is or what is your understanding. So that is known as the word interpret. Interpret graphs and statics, it means that first you have to look on all of those graphs and statics which is given in rest of the slides, illustrating birth rate, death rate, and the rates of natural increase, which is illustrating birth rate, that how many people are born, death rate, how many people have died, and the rates of natural increase. Natural increase means that how many people were present into that time, the repeated time, which is quoted over there in population in Pakistan. They are talking about the population of Pakistan as a whole as well as areas within Pakistan. It means that we will be talking about it as a whole and we will also be talking about different areas of Pakistan. So, this is exactly the question which is asked. But before moving forward, let me just give you a quick recap of demographic transition model. Well, you can see very clearly the demographic transition model, which we have already studied in the previous classes. So definitely you all are now familiar with what exactly demographic transition model is. In stage 1, it was high birth rate, rapid fall in each upward age due to the high death rates, short life expectancy. So you can see that automatically this side is the male one and this side is the female one. So you can see from both the ends it is expanding, it is going upwards, and automatically when there is high birth rate then definitely there is high death rate as well. But when I'm coming to the second stage, it is also expanding. Now I will tell you about the graphic representation as well, that these are the graphs and how can you understand these graphs. As you can see that it is written expanding over here, so you can see very clearly that yes, it is expanding. And in the second stage as well, it is also expanding through this graph, but there is a difference between both of them. This is the higher increase, the rapid one, that it is expanding fastly, but in this process, it is expanding slowly as compared to this one. So, the high birth rate, fall and death rate as more living in middle age is slightly longer life expectancy. Automatically, when they were not focusing on each and every instruction, and yes, there was high birth rate due to different factors such as new medicines were not present in this time period, and yes, with new medicines also there is one more thing, illiteracy rate is more as compared to the literacy rate. But when we are entering into the stage 2, then people are, with the passage of time, they're getting literate, and this is the era where you can say that mechanization was introduced, medicine revolution was introduced. So this is the main reason that high birth rate is there, but that rate has fallen down because people were literate, they were having knowledge about what they have to do and how they have to spend their life, right? Due to this factor, automatically there was a longer life expectancy to live, but in this way, it was no longer life expectancy, it was short life expectancy when I'm talking about stage 1. Now let's come upon to stage 3, that is the stationary stage. When I'm talking about stationary, so this is the still one. Still means that nothing is moving, it is still the same, and no changes are occurring or taking place. So that is known as stationary. In stage 3, you can see with this pictorial representation that the birth rate is declining, it is also lowering the death rate, and more people are living in this. Now, when I'm talking about stage 3, that it means that when more people are living to old age, then it means there is more life expectancy in this age. And in other terms, you can say that why am I saying that there is a life expectancy automatically? Medicine revolution have taken place when we are entering from stage 2 into stage 3. Then you can see very clearly into this stage 3 that automatically there are people who are independently working, the people who are taking care of their health, their resources, the facilities of resources are also provided to them. Now, coming towards stage 4, that is contracting. It means it's different, it is changing with the passage of time. Now, you can see very clearly that it means that low birth rate and low death rate, higher dependency ratio, and longer life expectancy. Now, when I'm talking about low birth rate or low death rate, so you can see very clearly that automatically we have entered into the fourth stage, that is the assumptionary stage, all right. But finally, it has been practicing into Pakistan, the stage 4. So you can see when people are having knowledge, when they're literate, when they can conclude according to the findings, then automatically there is low birth rate and the low death rate. And then people are highly dependent on all of those people who can feed their families, and there is longer life expectancy as compared to the first, second, and third. So I have already explained, that was a quick revision of demographic transition model. And with this, I have already explained you about that what kind of graph is this. Now coming towards the next slide, which states that type of graph. So you can see very clearly that there are so many types of graphs which are given over here. This graph is known as line chart. It is known as bar chart, which is in form of bar. That is stacked bar chart, bullet bar chart, column chart, which is in form of columns, stacked and bubble, stacked column chart, which is in form of stacked columns. This is known as pie chart, and this is the pie chart with highlights. It means that you're highlighting provinces to make it more prominent. This is scattered plot chart, the bubble chart, stacked column volume, and stacked volume width. All right. Coming towards the next part, population indicators. Birth rate. The birth rate is the ratio between the number of babies born in the year and the average total population of that year. Birth rate means how many people are getting, how many people are born into that year, and then you're taking out the average of the total population of that year. This is known as birth rate. When I'm talking about death rate, so it says that the ratio of death to the population of a particular area or during a particular period of time. So you're actually calculating the population, how many people have died into that particular area during that particular period of time. So you're calculating that thing. When I talk about infant mortality rate, it is the death of young children under the age of 1. It means that those who are the babies of a couple of months, and if they have died before turning into a year, okay, so that is known as infant mortality rate. Infant mortality, those babies who cannot even walk, those are known as infants, the newborn babies. Life expectancy, the term life expectancy refers to the number of years a person can expect to live. That how many years you can live according to the demographic transition model, which I've already highlighted. Then comes migration rate, the difference between the number of persons entering and leaving a country during the year. Well, it can be due to any cause, such as usually people migrate from one place to another because of living of their families and for their own self as well, and due to different factors, health facilities, job facilities, etc. Population density is the number of people living in each unit of area. It means that in different zones, people are living over there, and then you're taking out their density with a calculation. Now coming towards the next question, that is population pyramid. There are two pyramids which are given. Okay, this structure is known as pyramid. All right, pyramid graph. Question number one: study the figure which shows population pyramid from Pakistan for the year 1981 and 1998. Well, there are two graphs which are given on the left and right side. So what exactly you have to do is, what does the population pyramid show? You have to highlight that what else can you see in these two pyramids. Whatever you can see, so you can just take it from there and you have to write it down in your copies. Whatever you feel like, either birth rate, death rate, mortality rate, or what else, whatever you can see, you have to just highlight all those pointers. Well, the book is The Environment of Pakistan, from which these maps are taken. Author is Sumana Sethi, chapter number Population in Pakistan, and page number 206. Coming towards the next question, that is part B of this question. With reference to the shape of the pyramids, describe the features of Pakistan's population. Feature means that important highlights which you can see in this, so you have to elaborate that in detail into your copies. And yes, once again, the reference number and the description is given below. Coming towards the next part, question number two, the table below gives information on the life expectancy in Pakistan. Well, there is a right on the right side, you can see a table is given over here which is stating about the life expectancy. So you have to suggest the reasons for the change in life expectancy shown in the given table. So you have to highlight the reasons that why there are changes in life expectancy. Question number three, study the figure and underline the year in which there was high birth rate. And you have to study it and then you have to highlight where is the high birth rate, and then you have to complete the following. Natural increase is equals to birth rate minus what? So you have to fill this blank. The reference is given over here. All right, so the assignment for today is question number one. Pakistan continues to have a high birth rate but a very low death rate. How is this affecting the total population of Pakistan? You have to highlight in this that they are having high birth rate but low death rate. So, how this situation is affecting the total population of Pakistan, you have to highlight those pointers. And then in question number two, there is a graph which is given, a pyramid which is given over here, because because the graph is of the shape of a pyramid. That's why it is known as pyramid graph. Analyze the birth and death rate of population from the population pyramid given above. So you can see and you have to analyze and answer. So thank you so much everyone for listening, and I hope that this presentation turned out to be something really important and informative for all of you. If you people are still having any questions, so definitely you can ask me in the comment section on KP. I will respond to your questions over there. Inshallah, we return back with another presentation for all of you. Till then, take care, barakallah, and Allah Hafiz.